Hi, this is Courtney with FindMeInTheHTV, and I'm here with Mr. Carlos Wallace. Tell us about your background and a little about your projects you have.
All right, well, I'm a professor, former engineer for Union Pacific Railroad, and just recently published my second book. And we did just hit bestseller status yesterday. So this is just a celebration, man. We're excited.
What inspired you to write this book?
Friends and family. After the first book, and we reached a pretty good success on that one. And so, of course, the question was, well, when is the next one? And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even want to write the first one. So I had to go back in the think tank and come up with a new concept. And it actually, they received it well, man.
Nice. I know your first book is titled Life is Not Complicated. You are. Mm-hmm. And this second book, tell us about it.
This book is The Other 99 Times, and the premise is we focus too much on the one time things went wrong instead of appreciating the 99 that went right. So this one is 13 chapters and 13 different stories and scenarios of where we focus on the one time things went wrong, and me kind of illustrating why we should appreciate the other 99 that went right.
Nice. What are your ambitions for your writing career?
With everything I do, I like to make people at least see things from a different perspective. I teach psychology, and it's totally my favorite subject because it does give us a more broad view, it gives us an opportunity to think about things from another person's perspective, and it gives us a better understanding of other people, and to me, it makes it a better world. So what I like to accomplish, my books at least give you a different way of thinking about something.
That's interesting. How long does it actually take to complete a book?
The first one, when people ask, I say it took me 40 years because I had to live it to write it. But this second one, start to finish, about 3 years.
Okay. And what about editing? Did you seek out an editor? And if you did, how did you find her?
I do. With my first book, my old boss, I was an organizer for a United Transportation Union. And my boss, when I told him I wanted to write a book, he said, okay. He said, but only if you allow me to edit it. He's now a professor in University of Ohio. And he said, because you're too smart and just your mind is too broad to write a black book. I want you to write a book for everybody. And at first I was like, what is, this old white guy, what is he talking about? But I appreciate that once it was complete, because now I have, my maturity has shown me what he was talking about. So with the second book, my aunt, she's a superintendent. Well, she's retired now. She's a retired superintendent. She did my first line editing. And same with the previous book, he just did the first line editing. And then Liz Faublas, her company, $1 Million Pen Ink, did the second line editing. And then I submitted to the publishing company, and they do the final edits.
Nice. And what about your book cover? Is it hard to select a book cover, and does a book cover affect the sales and people actually want to pick up the book to read it?
Well, the advice I received before was, man, being a black man on the cover, it may hurt your sales. I didn't care, because I actually take pride in who I am. I take pride in being a black man. So if someone chooses to not pick up my book because I'm black, then I'll accept that. Because if their ignorance will keep them from buying a book, then I don't want them to have it anyway. So the first book was, we just kind of pitching, man. It was all just taking a chance. The second book cover, it was, and you see the difference from one to the other. There was a whole lot more thought gone into the second book. I mean, the graphic designer, Dion Moore, he, just the way he laid it out, it's a blur and then it comes into focus. And so it just kind of illustrates the, thinking about the other 99 times.
So other than carloswallace.com and Amazon, Nook, you said?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on so many. The publication, I mean, they send me this whole list of places where you can buy it. I just always tell them, go to carloswallace.com, and that'll send you to other places.
Okay. Makes sense. Thank you for taking the time out to interview with me today.
All right. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. We're signing out with Find Me in HTV and Mr. Carlos Wallace.
Thank you for finding me in the H.